This is Josiah Plays Citizen Sleeper. Back for another go at this wonderful game. We're on day 25. Cycle 25 if you prefer. So let's get back into it. Okay. Here we are. It says we have upgrades available, but I'm actually saving my point to get self-repair, I think. Oh man, Obsessive Haggler seems really good too. Need to check something real quick. I believe I was using volume mixer before. Oh yeah, the volume's way down on volume mixer. Which is why I don't have it turned down here. So, waiting for upgrades. I mean, I could take Thrill Seeker. Okay, I can't remember what I was exactly doing or trying to do with my dice today. It's 100 cryo to go across there. I haven't touched the free spoke at all yet. So we'll come back to that. Feng wants me to do deliveries. We need scrap components for the scrap pile. I can get a random scrap item on engineer actions. Neither of those are engineer. Neither of those are engineer. Oh, block maintenance is engineer, and it helps me get low ender. So we're definitely going to do that. Havenage data. You've heard that the Yadigan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Havenage movement. And cryo, okay. That's not great, but here we're just waiting another day for the Sabine thing to advance. Here we're just waiting 3 more days for Ethan to come back and get all pissed. Dock B2, just waiting for the salvage ship to come back. The sealed dock, he needs a ship mined. I need the spores for Tala. Here we're waiting for that ship to come back. Here we can put in Yadigan data or ship mine fragments. And here's an engineer action where we're working on the sidereal horizon. So let's put a 6 in there. And a 5. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-roll my dice. Okay, I got 2 3s. Let's come up here to... let's come up here to the low end. And do some block maintenance. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. Wonderful, I got energy and I finished low ender. So now that I finished low ender, I have access to this, Caster, Curious Data Fence. Looks like we're gonna meet a new character. You cross between 2 walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of Tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man sitting at a Tavla table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. I'll sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Caster, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed white and black. Night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. Let's begin. You both take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6. You, a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. Hey, Amaranth, how you doing? Good to see ya. What's going on? Gonna play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. Doing well, about to start up Fallout 76. Fun! I like Fallout 76. I've had a good time with it in the past. I don't mean to offend you.
Castor meets your eye.
I merely see that you are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added?
He slides a single cap onto an open point, a risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice.
Do you ever think about this, Sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now?
Always. You roll a double 1 and solidify your wall. Castor whistles.
The holding game. Commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before.
He rolls the dice and leaps your wall in a single move.
But we cannot idle too long, Sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person.
He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide.
You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what yours is.
He hands you the dice, smiling.
You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak.
You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Castor's before he solidifies control of the game.
So, what I'm curious about is how you see yourself in all of this,
Castor asks.
What does this tangle of truths make you?
Tough call. Free.
Yes.
Castor looks away, through the glass to the crowded units on all sides.
I can see that. Your life as an escapee was never meant to happen. Yet here we are.
He starts removing caps, his home board now full.
Your life is an offshoot. You can go anywhere from here.
You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while.
I feel I may have pushed too far.
He slides another cap from the board.
I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me.
You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castor clasps his hands apologetically.
You pay well. Really. Your weakness is not your game.
He smiles warmly.
We have much to learn from each other.
He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back.
I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data.
His eyes glint with that last word.
To our mutual benefit.
He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see.
Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
He holds up his palms.
My intention is only to help you endure here, and, if I am able, feed my curiosities.
The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, The call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave, Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. Okay. So the low end, the base low end is gone now. I need scrap. So here at Castor's place, I can do Havenage protocols. Oh, this guy will give me a ship mind for 5 Havenage data. What are the old god up to these days, I wonder? I have a ship mind for you if you'll indulge my curiosity. Or I can do Yadigan business. The stories about Yadigan are brutal, but I want the truth. A vial of stabilizer should provide the motivation. Now I wish I hadn't gotten rid of that Havenage data. Or that Yadigan data that I sold also. Well, I need to be doing a lot of hacking then. I need to do deliveries for Feng. Got a lot to do. But for now, all I can do is rest. Ending cycle. Alright, let's see what I've got here. I got a 1, a 3, a 4. So there's a Havenage agent, needs a 2. That one needs a 2. That guy needs a 1. That guy needs a 1. Okay, so my 1s and 2s I need to use for those things. I've got a 6. Oh, what's this? Oh, Sabine's thing is done. Let's see what's going on with that. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are, right on time, with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onward. They should be here. Check the terminal. You check and double the terminal for messages or recordings. Nothing. Just the pale glow. The silence. Check the door. You pace back and forth around the apartment, the rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it to an empty corridor. You close it again. You try to settle down, to wait. You sit on the bunk and stare out at the tiny room. Where the hell are they? A knock at the door. Uh-oh. Rabaya, a loyal Yadigan lieutenant. She looks dangerous. A figure stands in the door, and immediately you know it is not Sabine. They are taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from her hand.
Local sleeper. Good to finally meet you.
She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes.
What, may I ask, are you doing here?
She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare.
Nothing.
She laughs.
No need to get jumpy. We just need to discuss our mutual friend.
She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around.
We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours.
She picks a glass from the dispenser and inspects it.
People always seem to forget who put them where they are.
She glances at you.
And I suppose you are here to help?
Where are they?
I was hoping you would be able to help with that.
She spins the baton in her fingers by her side, her eyes not leaving yours.
We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye, which means they are in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and here you are. The help.
She looks through the detritus on the side.
And what help? A sleeper, no less, which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners.
She pauses.
S&R.
You blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Rabia looks away, waiting for a response.
Prove it. Happily.
She crosses into the next room and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal and touches her baton to one of the access ports. A spark. Then the terminal screen skips, encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. In the flicker of files, you see S&ARP letterheads and code forms, reports laden with medical data marked with the corporate logo like a sigil of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal.
Look all you want. Some of your files may even be there.
The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was an S&ARP employee, why did they help you? Rabia reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light, its viscous, clear liquid crystalline within the glass.
We will, of course, keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines even without the doctor.
You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush this object for the power it has over you.
I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. He'll be running the surgery now.
Rabia closes up the briefcase lab and holds it at her side.
We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand.
Rabia turns on her way out.
There is no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles.
She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tiredness beneath. Well, I completed a drive, which was... You don't know where Sabine has gone. Did they escape yet again? This story doesn't seem to be over. Lot going on there. I have 2 upgrade points. I can get... I think I'm gonna go for this actually right now. +1 to engage. Obsessive Haggler seems really good, actually. Okay. Rabaya appointment. A constant flow of people seem to be visiting Rabaya's office. You'll need to wait your turn, so that's just a couple of days. I think one more day on that. Yet again, dispensary. Gang run drug dispensary. Now it only costs 80 credits, or 80 cryo for a stabilizer. Toshiro now runs a dispensary out of the block. He eyes you as you approach. There's no sign of Sabine. Okay, I'm glad that that's cheaper. Oh, the ships are back? Not this one. This one's back. This is where I can buy scrap. And I do want to buy scrap. I'm gonna buy all 3 of the available scrap. Now that I have 3 scrap, I can come here to the derelict unit and put some scrap in here. I finished this. Alright, now it says I need to seal the unit. With all the materials, the unit now needs sealing section by section to be usable. It's a laborious task, but the outcome is worth it. Once this place is sealed, it will be livable in, maybe even comfortable, a place to call your own, but I have to do it a lot of times. Hey Tim, how you doing? Good morning. Citizen Sleeper, going well, very well. A lot of different things to do though, man. It's hard to decide what to do with my handful of daily actions. Which was the thing that I was doing that was giving me, like, energy and money? Unnecessary in there? What? What did I say? Oh, and he gave me a stabilizer. Nice. Oh, livable inn. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I noticed that too. It looked off to me. There's a lot going on. So... I kind of want to do the Sidereal Horizon thing. I kind of want to do... No. I want to do some deliveries, I think. Oh, I got energy from that. Now, I've got to work on this apartment. So I got some work done on that. I think I'm gonna re-roll that 3. I got a 2, which is good. I can use the 2 for data. On yet again. On the Havenage agent. How many days in are we? About 23 or so, I think. I need 5 of these datums for Havenage agents. I only have 2 energy. I think I might need to buy some food. I think I have to buy some fungus. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, I'm full on energy, but not exactly bursting with money. I mean, I have a decent amount of money, but I would like to have a decenter amount. Alright, well, we're gonna have to deal with Ethan's bullshit on the next day, so let's prepare ourselves for that. Decenter, definitely a thing people say. Yeah, 100%. As one does. Oh, it's not Ethan Day yet. Ethan Day is tomorrow. Okay. Well, let's get more Havenage data with this too. Okay, we've got 2 of those. What I need to do is I need to do a delivery for Fang's thing. What if I put a 4 on that? Probably pretty good. Maybe I'll put the 5 on that. Or 6, I mean. Okay, so I finished Feng's targets. A shortcut across a bridgeway means 3 happy customers and 3 big tips. You start to understand the makeshift unit markings. Sleeper! You see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Min Ji's, the kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously.
I don't have long. Take these.
Feng palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives. Ripper worms.
My slate has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets.
He squeezes your shoulder.
I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes.
What do we do?
Harden's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them. You should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports.
Sounds like we're going to be opening a socket.
Slot the Ripper worms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored on Harden's shadow network.
He smiles.
Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there.
You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Min Ji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripperworm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Alright, how do I slot some worms? Hack Harden's network. Well, there's no more doing deliveries. Where do I slot worms? Oh, I see. There's Harden agents in here now. Oh, I need a 6 for that? The security protocols on this agent are serious stuff. What are Harden's collaborators up to? Did I tell you that I finally actually opened a socket a couple of weeks ago for the first time? It was, well, nothing actually. Turns out it's a very common thing that programs are doing all of the time. Well, congratulations on opening your first socket. So I actually need a... You remember the guy who lived here? He didn't tip. Time for him to see the consequences. Yeah, I need a 5 and a 6, unfortunately, for those. I think I'm gonna re-roll these 4s, because they're not doing me any favors. I got a 2, which is good. I can use the 2 on the Havenage agent. That 3 is nothing special. Do I want to... I guess there's a couple of options. I could work on the sidereal, or I could work on the new apartment. I'm going to work on this because it gives me cryo. I lost condition though, but I did get a scrap item. That's good. But I lost condition. I'm going to go down to 3 dice tomorrow. I think I'm going to use my stabilizer. And I didn't get any progress on the apartment today, which is unfortunate. How close am I on the casters thing? So he wants... Check my datums. He wants 5 of these for a ship mine. I only have 3, so... But making progress nonetheless. Alright, I have to go back to my own little crap hole where I live. I'm going to inject a stabilizer so that I don't go down to 3 dice. Down to 1 energy. Okay. Oh, crap. It's Ethan. Ha! His nose is bandaged up. Nice.
You miss me?
Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you.
No.
You look at him. He is paler than usual, hunched. He is sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth.
That's no way to greet an old friend.
Friend?
Well...
He pauses.
Colleague?
He smiles weakly.
This is big. Really big stuff. About you.
He seems more jittery than usual, on edge.
You remember now how S&R canceled the contract on you? Contract I was going to collect?
I remember.
Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me? I lost everything, but let's not worry about that.
He smiles sarcastically.
And so, what did you think? That was it?
I'm going to stay silent.
Well, it was! Except...
Ethan leaves a dramatic pause.
What if old S&R gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who was even more of a shithead than yours truly?
He smiles darkly.
What a disaster that would be.
Who? Ethan grins.
That's the question, isn't it?
Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper.
I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. And it turns out S&R canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. It seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did such a good job on their last contract that they got offered a job.
I wonder if it's the person who took out the winter light. He leans in.
Apparently, he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland. Or something. Oh, so it was the same person. Okay, that's a scary person. It's the Winterlight guy. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S&R's big corporate nose. It killed the crew and blew the ship. Ethan whistles. They called him Hamwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean Winterlight? That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this? He pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, it seems like you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners. And they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessman. He grimaces. I would pay them, but he's not good for it, Tim. He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad. The anger is rising in him now. That I came here and told you this. You think anyone's looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours. He sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us, he jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. A straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. Fine. Ethan smiles. He looks like shit warmed up. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed S&R shit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Alright, I got a new drive. And that is to gain Ethan's protection. Somehow you are once again helping Ethan. This time he has offered his protection if you help clear his debt. Work in the compressor. Okay. Sure. Oh, what's this all about? Oh, right. The appointment with Rabia. I'm sure she's gonna make my life better. So at the compressor, I can do some things. Explain to me the circumstances by which you came to know how shit warmed up looks. Look, you know the phrase, you've seen some shit? Well, this time it's literal. Turns out the compressor's owners are local gangsters. Now Ethan has to work off his debt if he wants to keep breathing. I can work the back. Wash up, stock check, cleaning, prep work. Back work at the compressor is all bad smells, flickering lights, and hard scrubbing. I can work the front.
Working the door, taking deliveries, staffing the bar. Front work at the compressor is a cocktail of shouted orders, alcohol, and violence. Okay. Now I officially have way too many things to do. Well, I can get more Havenage data with that too. I now have 4 out of 5 that I need. I could also use the 5 on this harden agent. This is gonna trigger Hunter. Let's just hold off on that. Try to make some fat stacks in the Tavla room. I do need energy. What if I use a 3 here? What's gonna happen? That's the worst possible outcome. I still got 1 energy, but that was a kind of a waste of a die, unfortunately. I am pretty motivated to work on this apartment. I put a 4 in there. Wait, is that a... It is a 4, okay. Oh, I should see what's going on with Rabiah before I use any more dice. Yeah, and I haven't even unlocked the whole station, Tim. I can come up here and spend 100 cryo to unlock this other area on the other side of the gap, and I don't know if there's even more areas beyond that. There is a lot going on here. Alright, let's see what's up with Rabiah. As you approach the address Rabiah gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder.
What's your business here?
The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implants give her. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabiah and Toshiro have, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks.
Gia, please. The sleeper is here by my invitation.
Yeah, factoring in Josiah speed, I'm like 10%. At Rabiah's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Gia's face. Of course, Rabiah, I'm sorry. Rabiah waves her away.
Don't you worry. I appreciate your protective instincts.
She smiles at the enforcer.
How about you head to the Tambor? They have a delivery coming, and they'll need some help with the lifting.
Gia nods and walks away.
So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad.
I was curious.
Curious is good.
She smiles a tight smile.
You have to understand. Finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them.
I wish you no harm.
I am glad.
Rabaya begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end.
What do you know about Yadagan?
You run the low end.
She laughs.
That sounds impressive. We run out of the low end, yes. We don't run it.
People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and winding passages.
Our reputation is one that implies threat, is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals.
Just because we indulge in murder and human trafficking, it's really unfair that we're framed as... No, I don't know if they engage in those things or not, but... She gestures around at the people in the passageway.
But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the Eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here?
Erlen did.
Indeed, you understand the history then. That is good. But Erlen is long dead, Sleeper, and his rules were little more than an optimist's manifesto. The Eye has changed so much since then. If you had spent your time in the low end, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The low end was empty at Erlen's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda safe was work enough. No, the low end was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving.
Rabaya meets your eye.
The collapse didn't just happen here on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage. Some tried to hold it together. Some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erlen, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone. But many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they hoped.
Rabaya leads you through a small market hall, busy with small stalls and traders.
Erlen's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families. Were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict. Child born out of need for us to stand up and claim our future. To provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it.
From your birth? Check out this tryhard. She's like 3 days old and already like working a corner. That is some ambition for an infant. Rabaya catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while. Among the smells and textures of the low end, you start to wonder if this place could be a home for you too.
Where is Sabine?
Rabaya sighs and takes a moment to answer.
I told you, Sleeper, they have gone, and we do not know where. I understand Sabine must have told you about their debt to us, but that was an agreement entered into willingly, and that benefited them greatly. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee? It goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied. That was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they have made to us. Yatagan has not lasted this long because it is a charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack.
Who is Yannick?
Yannick is one of the heads of Yatagan. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder.
Sabine found something.
Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. They only wanted to escape their debt. They would have said anything. But where are they now to stand behind their claims?
I will find them.
As will we.
You realize that Rabiah has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase to the walkway where you met.
You are free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say.
She looks out through the windows of the walkway.
I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear.
She turns back.
However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatagan, to see the low end, with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine,
she pauses to consider her words.
I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully.
With that, Rabiah leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each with a story, that make up the low end. Too many drives, bro. This is how many I've done. This is how... It's endless. It's like, you can't possibly do all these, I don't think. Rabiah wants you to be a part of Yatagan. Could they help you settle on the eye? Spend time as a Yatagan enforcer. Well, shit. Patrol the ward. You get energy for that. And you work on Yatagan Insider. However you feel about Yatagan, it seems working with Rabiah is your best chance to get an insight into the organization. The stream is stuttering. Oh, it does look like I've dropped a tiny amount of frames. I'm not sure. I mean, my bitrate looks stable, so I don't know. Are you facing time limits here that will force you to make choices between these at all? Well, it's unclear because different events kind of just trigger, so I'm not really sure. And there's a lot of stuff that they're acting like, oh, some shit's gonna go down, so be careful or whatever. But like, I don't know if I have any hard time limits that are gonna stop me from doing stuff or not. Yatagan perform many roles from... No, nothing explicit like that, Tim. From protection to logistics and everything between. You never know what you may have to face on a patrol. Or you can collect tithes. Yatagan operates on an in-kind basis, you are told, and tithes or goods or services must be collected in exchange for protection and administration. Sounds like a protection racket to me. There's a lot going on.
This guy still wants 5 of those, and I have 4. I could free Neovend if I got another ship mined, though. Don't really care about that. I do care about this. And I care about... Okay, so that's... This ship is coming. I don't see any other negative clocks currently, which is good. That means there's no, like, immediate... The interesting thing is this, like, thing of, like, working off Ethan's debt. There's no clock on this. Like, there's not like a, you have this many cycles to get this done or something bad will happen. At least not yet. Let's throw 4 in here. Okay, that's good. So much going on. And I haven't even touched the free spoke yet. The spoke climber thing. I have no idea what that will unlock or whatever, but let's work on the apartment. Now I'm out of everything. I think I'm gonna need to buy some... I think I'm gonna need to buy some fungus because I've only got 2 energy. I don't want it to go down to starving. Alright. Next day. Oh, shit! I do have a negative cycle clock. Maywick. Ethan says Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. Okay, that's my ticking clock. So, I'm not going to leave the station, probably. Get protection or disable your tracker. Well, getting protection seems like either working for the Yadigan or doing Ethan's thing. Disabling the tracker means doing Feng's stuff, which means I need the data from these hardened agents. I already got one of them, right? No, I didn't. I need a 5 and a 6. I need a 5 and a 6 for the hardened agents. I don't know how many more steps there are to this Feng thing, but there's been a lot of friggin' steps so far. How many days do I have on this? Sounds like a bunch of not working on your new apartment. Yeah, well, it's a lot of days. I can't even, it's impossible to count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 days. I should be able to get this shit done in 24 days.
Disable my tracker is what I'd like to do. Okay, so I can use that 5. Oh, now I'm going to have a run-in with Hunter, who's probably going to injure me. I can use that 5. Here. Hardened agent port unlocked. The Hunter thing reset, and I didn't have an encounter with Hunter. Alright, this will provide Feng with the ability to rip any data he likes from Harden's network. Okay, so let's throw the Ripper Worm in there. Havened agent slotted. Now I need a 6 for this guy. I might just literally re-roll all 4 of these dice right now. I think I'm going to. Holy shit, look at all those 5s. That's almost Yahtzee. Unfortunately, those 5s aren't going to help me get any datums, but they will help me do some tasks. So, let's just do one apartment thing. Okay, that's almost done. Let's do... Should I be working for friendship with the Yadigan, or should I be working to help Ethan and get him to, like, help me? I mean, Ethan seems kind of not that, you know, reliable or whatever. Will these people pay me? Is the question. Hey son, welcome. Good to see you. I'm facing tough choices here. Don't know what to do. Let's see. So if I work for these guys... I also really want to keep working on this, both because it pays me and... So doing pretty well on that. I feel like I shouldn't be splitting up my efforts right now between... I should either be going all in for Ethan's debt, or I should be going all in for Yadigan. I mean, Ethan's kind of a shit show. So... Let's see what happens if I do this. I max out my energy and got a little bit of Yadigan Insider. And what happens if I do this? Well, they give me scrap when I do this, which isn't quite the same as getting paid, even though I can technically sell those scrap components, but I don't really want to sell them, and the reason why is because I want to get this self-repair skill, where I can use the scrap components to heal myself. which would let me make the stabilizers last longer, effectively. But I was gonna get Obsessive Haggler next, so I don't know. For now, I'll hold on to the scrap components because I'm not desperate for money. That's all I can do today. Oh, do you guys want to play Solasta? Since you're both here, we could switch to Solasta at any time. It's up to you guys. You're tired? Okay. Like, is that just a general statement, or are you saying you're tired, therefore you don't want to play? Alright, that's fine, son. Tim, are we doing Madara Monday tomorrow? I think we should. Maybe in an hour. So yeah, just let us know, you know. Okay. I have a 6 that I can use on this thing, which is great. Where is the other hardened agent? Port unlocked. Slutting the Ripperworm means a whole load of data on Harden's activities for Fang. The worm begins tearing through the data cache, spinning out a thread to Fang's terminal. Now I can talk to Fang again. You're doing all the Memorial Day celebrations this afternoon, so you're good for any time on Monday? Okay, cool, cool. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Fang arguing with Jenna. It doesn't look good. Fang seems to be explaining something, but Jenna is having none of it. She points to the door, and Fang walks away, catching your eye as he turns. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a whirring mass of code streams, coming direct from the Ripperworms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Fang scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but... Fang's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Fang shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway. Fang. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Fang nods. He's been speaking with him, personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what is this? A wasteland reclamation facility? Right here on the eye. He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? The wastes?
It's the section of the eye Erland couldn't reclaim. Was too damaged, too cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way. Round the rim, past the greenway.
He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking.
Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago. Moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock.
Why work with Harden?
Access? Old connections? Not sure.
Feng looks back at the screen.
But if Harden is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that.
So what's next? Feng stares out into the middle distance.
We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Harden has been prepping, been planning, has to be there. And we're going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by the Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet.
Feng squeezes your shoulder.
Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together.
He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mess of scrolling code.
I've been working on a fix in my brakes.
He winks. Feng grins.
See you soon, Sleeper.
And he walks out the door of the tambour without looking back. Got an upgrade point. Harden is collaborating with Conway on a scheme out in the wastes. What's going on out there? Feng has located a Conway facility buried deep in the wastes. He needs your help to crack it and expose Harden. Meet Feng in the Greenway. Okay. Well, I have to save my point because the things I would buy all cost 2. Either this or this. They cost 2. You don't think you have an equivalent in Denmark of Memorial Day? Alright, let's I put a 3 in there. Odds are pretty good. Alright, I finished the makeshift apartment. Oh, squatter's rights. Achievement unlocked. And I got another upgrade point. So which one of these do I want right now? I think I want Obsessive Haggler. Cryo actions discounted by 20%. So that means, like, if I go here, I can get these for 64 now. When I go here to do this, I can do it for only 80. repaired unit. Oh, cool. I actually live here now. I can still sunbathe. Feed a stray. There's signs that a stray animal has been nosing around near the unit. A handful of chits for some crackers should bring it out of hiding. Okay. I can afford that. You buy the crackers from a shop unit downstairs and crumble them up into a tray. Something moves in the shadows. Oh wow, there's actually dialogue for the cat. A low-end cat, the stray. The stray hops up onto a work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence, it just sits there, beside the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. What is this cat's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen another in the low end, but in this vast megastructure that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this in the Warrens. You look at its sleek, dark fur and sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged. It looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is the stray's apartment which you are squatting in. Watch. Though the stray is looking out at the station, you feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eyes, perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. The stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of a life, totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. The stray licks crumbs from its fur. You like it here? The stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. It is hard to imagine the stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit to it. But the stray's pleasure at existing here, in this place, shines through its every sinew. It is not that the stray is always happy on the eye, but that the stray is engaged by this place. It is alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one that the stray looks out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the stray, a kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with the other, a point of connection. Then, all at once, the stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit and brushes along your legs, and then it is gone, out through the unit door and back into the corridors of the low end. Okay. I can feed it again? If you buy the crackers and put them out, the stray will always come. It doesn't mean they like you, though. They are a cat, after all. What if I feed it again? Well, I'm not going to feed them multiple times in a day. I will feed the cat every day just to see what happens. Alright, I need... to do some of this work. And maybe a little of this. And then I've got that 1-5, which I'm thinking about re-rolling because I really, really want to get this last thing of data so I can get that ship mined. So I have 2 homes now. But I could work on this also. You know what? I'm going to re-roll this 5. Even though a 5 is really good, I'm going to re-roll it. I got a 2! Isn't that exactly what I need for the Haven agent data? Yes, it is. Awesome. So what's nice is I can now go get a free ship mined. So if I go to our guy Caster and I put these 5 datums in here, I got a ship mine core. I appreciate what you presented, but I have nothing more to offer. And you know what I can do with that ship mined? Yeah, they're pretty elusive. I mean, this ship that comes like every bunch of days, you can buy ship mine fragments from it, but they're expensive. And they have a limited supply, and then you have to wait a long time for the ship to come back. So getting a free one is pretty huge, actually. Now I can go help out the vending machine. Neovend wants to be smuggled out of the dock, and to do that, you'll need to provide a full ship mind ready for imprinting. Neovend is ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. So now I can talk to Neovend 33, the mysterious machine. Which might complete this. And I'll need 1 more point to get self-repair.
Sleeper! Must express plan before we begin!
Neovent is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take.
Shipmind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted.
You won't be able to sleep?
Correct. Do not worry.
The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neovend's anxiety clear. I didn't know that computer programs had anxiety.
First, imprint shipmind. Then slot imprinted shipmind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at each.
Just because it's sapient doesn't mean it has anxiety, though. I mean, obviously it does have anxiety, but it wouldn't necessarily have to have anxiety.
Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmind at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer.
And killer will...
kill. Yes.
The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares.
Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys. But yes, simple.
The vending machine rocks a little.
Any questions before imprinting?
What's the core nest?
Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self, linked to secondary nests. Can triangulate from there.
Why slot you physically?
I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. Am not like you. Hybrid. Am native to cloud. Easy prey.
That's it. Let's start. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neovend better be quick, or Haven's security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals, like a whisper carried by the wind.
Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck.
In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms align with the ship bind, clunkily scraping against it. Can I help?
Silence best. Also, if machine ignite, put out fire.
The metal creaks as the servos open the ship mind, its layers of silicone nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend onto its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind, to copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. Insert mind, achievement unlocked. I got an upgrade point and a new drive. So the new drive is deal with Hunter. Hunter is constantly tracking you, but with Neovend's help, you may be able to deal with this rogue protocol. I need one more point here. Server unit, sealed hunter nest. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, the nice thing is I actually already have one of these encrypted keys that I got earlier, and I've just been holding on to it. A mad tangle of wires as thick as your arm crowd around a server unit, sealed shut by a maglock. This must be the place. The maglock pops open and falls away from the unit. You will be able to enter now. Angled nest. Imprinted ship mind. A ship mind imprinted with the entity from the Neovend machine. Among the webs of cables, you find a free port compatible with the ship mind. It's all Neovend from here. This is one of the 3 nests that, once slotted with Neovin's shipmind, will lead you to the Hunter's central data cache. The servers lie silent. Their data cache is cleared. Nothing left to do at this nest. Where are the other nests? Here's one. Oh, I need another encrypted key. Right. Okay, I have to hack up another encrypted key. An old Solheim drone base sits behind a maglock. You put your ear to the door and hear an erratic whirring inside. Alright. I'm gonna have to hack up 2 more encrypted keys, I have a feeling. Sealed behind a maglock, the atrium flickers with warm, inviting light. The nest has to be inside. Alright, well, there's nothing else I can do on this calendar day. I can go back to... Where the hell's my new apartment? The stray crunches up the crackers as you watch. Sometimes they'll let you stroke them, sometimes not. Alright, I got plenty of energy. End cycle. Alright. Feed the cat. Alright, to get one of these access keys... I think I need to hack, like, not Havenage agents. These key nodes. So I need a 3 for that one. A 1 for this one. There's one encrypted key. So I need a 3 to get the other one. Put the crypted key. Atrium doors can be opened. The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There is a wide choice of open ports. I'm going to open a socket. The atrium is only lit with the warm glow of the bright market now. There is nothing for you here. Okay, cool. I could buy ship mine fragments here now, but I don't need to. I don't need to. So I need to work on... I always like to do a little sidereal haul. Like, what happens if I fuck this up?
No. Let's use the 5 here. Almost done with that, which is cool. Now I need to work for the yacht again. Progress, plus I refilled my energy. Now I'm gonna re-roll this too. Oh, a 3. What did I need the 3 for? I needed the 3 for the other key, right? Yeah, sweet. Alright, now I can actually open up the third one of these. Hear an erratic whirring inside. The maglock opens, leaving the door free. You'll be able to investigate the nest now. In the bay, a whirring drone lies on its side, like a beached whale. It must be the nest. Time to find an open port. I've completed Hunter Hunted. Question mark, question mark, question mark. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign, as if they are leading you somewhere. I'm going to look at my hand for some reason. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ship mind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery. A sphere so bright it burns your eyes is surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Okay. Is that an actual place? Yep, the warrens. Oh, of course I have to do a whole series of nonsense here. I don't have +1 interface. Finding the nest should be as easy as closing your eyes and letting the cloud guide you, but is it safe this close to Hunter? That gives you a huge amount of progress, but I can't do it. Warren Hunt. You saw it, somewhere deep in the tangle of passages and service shafts beneath the low end. The nest of the hunter waits. Okay. I'm being pulled in so many directions at once. I do also need to go across the Founder's Gap. to meet, well, to do lots of things, actually. But especially to meet Fang. I think I'm gonna pay for this right now. It's only 80 cryo now. It was originally 150. Okay. Kind of low on money now. A heavily tattooed spacer takes your chits and tells you to prepare. She'll be waiting at the edge for your arrival. Take the ferry across the Founder's Gap to the Greenway. Alright, oh look, wow, okay. It is all green, and there's like a million things here. Oh my god, and there's the wastes. There's a million things here. Overgrown biosphere. Going green. Exploring the Greenway is unlike any other place on the Eye. Its overgrown chambers defy mapping. I can map the pathways that are being defied, though. Rather than simply thrash through the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of this overgrown jungle. No, it was just 80 cryo once. Let's try to better navigate its hazards. I can walk the Greenway. The simplest way to explore the Greenway is to simply pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. Okay, so that's a whole another thing that I could do. Service dock. Derelict Greenway dock. Oh, this is where I have to meet Fang, but I have to wait several days. Why is it that you always have to wait for Fang? When is he going to be the one waiting for you? Haifa Commune, self-sustaining community. So if I come here, I can become a Haifa member. The only way to become part of the commune is to work your way in, through long service. It isn't for everyone. You can work the canteen. Newcomers to the commune can work within the canteen, preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. Or work the grow beds. The grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the members and fueling their lab work. You're invited to assist in maintaining them. Okay, so that's another whole thing I could do. Wild margins, artificial wilderness. Oh, this is where I have to track Ashton. Fuck, that's another, like, long-ass task. Ankita seems to think Ashton is out here, at the wild edge of the Greenway. Time to see if that's true. I can't do this one because I need +1 interface. Rather than hiking around the wilderness, you can make use of your skills, tap into the cloud, and find Ashton by his signals. Or I can look for tracks. Seems like the obvious way to track someone, but in this overgrown tangle, this simple task suddenly becomes difficult. Here's the wastes. Oh, I can gather scrap components here. Out here, at the edge of the habitable parts of the Eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding components that are still usable and staying safe. Alright, so now I can go back. And if I want to go back, I don't think I ever have to pay again. No, I don't. So that's good. Well, let's go back to the apartment. And let's end the cycle. Alright, let's feed the cat. Okay. Was there something I needed to hack? Well, if I hack Yataghan agents, actually, I can get... If I get 5 of those Yataghan things, I can get, a free stabilizer, which saves quite a bit of money. But is it worth it? How much do the stabilizers cost now? They cost 64, which is a lot cheaper than they used to be. They were originally 100. But still, 64 is a big chunk of money for me right now. What did I need to do with the Warrens? Oh, fuck around a bunch. Okay. Alright, what do I need for this Yataghan guy? Need a 1. Okay, I have 1. Okay, that's 2. Is there another Yataghan guy? Yep, also needs a 1. Okay. What if I use a 2 on this? Well, I can just re-roll that 2, actually. Let's do the other things first. So... let's keep working on this. Maxes out my energy, gets me closer to that. Oh! Something's happening. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor, away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch.
Sleeper.
Sabine's voice crackles through.
I've seen you with Yataghan members. Are they holding you captive now too?
A high whine.
I'm sorry if I've dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle.
You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor.
I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I've located most of their properties. At the right time.
Pause.
I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal.
I don't remember our deal, actually. I legitimately do not remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you have just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An S&ARP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Okay, that didn't... What am I doing here? Meet Fang, I'm waiting... I have to wait a few days for that. I have to work my way through the Warrens for that. This is part of the Fang thing. Tracking Ashton's a whole big fucking giant task over there. Working the compressor, I haven't even started on that. Still need to find those mushrooms for him, which probably has something to do with the Greenway, obviously. Need the spores for Tala, also has something to do with the Greenway, I guess. Now the Sidereal Horizon, I can finish that, like, today. And I need to work for Rabaya some more.
That's done. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There is excitement in the air. Havenage just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the sidereal out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it is ready for the final stage. It will go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it is deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. Suddenly space butterfly? What? A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? She's being watched at home. Now I'm on the work team. I can afford a bit more help. He corrects himself. Was on the work team. I mean, we're all out of a job now. He quickly adds, Not that I'm complaining. He comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina, and me out of here. So confident? Lem smiles apologetically. Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering, what if? Until the draw, anyway, and there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. I feel like it's gonna come down to a thing where, like, I win the draw, and I could have to choose between going on the ship myself or giving it to Lem, or something like that. It's just how I feel like it's going to go down. And are the Celis Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the sidereal in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How's Mina doing? Lem is surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon. Especially now, I won't see you here either. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you can come too. He sighs. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? A real big one? I don't remember. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else. He smiles. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down. The whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in the Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was as dry as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm, a side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roofs like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. He sniffs.
Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm, never even felt rain. She's grown up here, the ring, her only horizon, always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course, almost there. Lem stands, stretching. Best get back to the little one anyway. With the shifts done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He shoulders his gear. See you in a few for the draw? I'll be there. Right on. He grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the sidereal really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? You get up quickly, before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope. Too dangerous. There's work to be done. So now I'm waiting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Celis are apparently going to start moving the sidereal horizon to the hub soon. So I've got some days to wait on that. 2 Yadigan data. Okay, I'm gonna reroll this 2. I got a 4. Okay. Sidereal draw is in 3 days. Havenage have said it'll be a few cycles until the winners of the draw are announced. You have to come back then. Okay. I don't need to do anything here. I need those spores. Time to get moldy if you need spores. Yeah. There's so many things I want to do now. Like a ridiculous number of things. I guess I should keep focusing on the Yadigan thing for now. I'm guessing that if I want spores or the mushrooms or whatever, I've got to do stuff here in the greenway. Or do I have to, gotta wait for Feng. Or do I have to do the Haifa commune? Either way, it's a whole bunch of shit to do. And then tracking Ashton is a whole bunch of shit to do. Okay, well, let's go back and keep working the Yadigan business. And now I'm out of juice. out of juice. What is this text message? I don't care. Feed the cat. Might want to get some drugs soon. Yeah, I will. After one more cycle. Oh yeah, I wanted to see... I need a 1 for that guy. And a 1 for that guy. So I need some 1s. I should start working on this. You notice cabling thick and heavy running through the dark passages. Follow the cables, find the source. And I should work a little bit more on this. And then I'm going to re-roll those two. Okay, I didn't get any 1s, unfortunately. Did get a juicy 5, though. I need to put that forward towards making some money, I think. All these things I'm doing now don't pay me. What's my best money-making option? Well, this, but... But before I jump into that, where else can I make money? I don't know if they'll pay me at the Compressor Club. I get the feeling they're not going to pay me here. You can always gamble at the Ord Exchange for 19 cryo. Can always work a bar shift for money. I guess I'm gonna try the gambling thing. So the gambling thing here at the Tambor Tea House could give me up to 24 cryo. I got 9. Okay, that's not very much. Hey, that's another day. I needed ones for those Yadigan fuckers, right? For hacking the Yadigan agents. I needed ones. I didn't get any ones. Here's what I should do. I should use that 5 to make some money. 100% positive I'll get 24 cryo. Then I'll re-roll all 3 of these. Okay, still no 1s, but I got some 4s I can use. Oh, I need to do the Warrens, and I need to do Rabia's office. Oh, I lost energy. Okay, that's fine, because I can get energy here. I'm gonna do this one again. There we go. Max on energy, pretty close to being done with this. Now I'm gonna buy a, I'm gonna buy a stabilizer for 64. I'm gonna go back to my apartment. I'm gonna feed the cat. I'm going to inject the stabilizer. I'm going to end the cycle. I did get a 1 this time. Hunter's gonna come after me. But all it did was reset again. So that's good. Got 3 out of 5 Yadigan data. What if I used a 2 here? That would be foolish. What if I used a 4 here? That would be good. The dark of the Warrens is exhausting, with little sense of direction. It is like crawling through a sleeping creature's veins. But I found the nest. Core nest, the hunter's lair. Hack core nest, a huge stack of servers thrums in the dark. LEDs glittering like hundreds of eyes. Time to deal with the hunter. Imprinted ship mind, go. Nothing has changed. Has something gone wrong? Navigator, sentient guidance protocol. Sleeper, I am here. The voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you are looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest.
a loop with no end, and there, at its center, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems, a map. And then behind and above, a figure, hands among the string like a puppeteer.
Neovend?
Navigator now. But yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest.
Ready what?
And then Hunter is there, before you can think, before you can speak.
Entities cease.
Hunter's head spins wildly.
Data is protected material. Access prohibited.
Hey, Sin, how you doing? Good to see you. What's this? This is Citizen Sleeper. It's a really cool game. Hunter's threads surge for you and Navigator, a storm of fine tentacles, searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks which they can crowd into and tear apart. Strike. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind, but replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and a sphere is gathering there, data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by the force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting, their winding forms refracted within. You feel a surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes.
Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity.
Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon.
Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies. Modified routines. Above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer.
The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction.
Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer.
The switch in direction again.
Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommended invoke.
Navigator pulls you away from Hunter, the threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. Alright, yeah, as soon as I get out of this dialogue, we can play some Celeste if you want to, Tim. I don't know how much time you have. You mentioned you were going to go do some stuff this afternoon. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Neovens. No, Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar and yet distant.
What happened to it?
It is looping. Navigator whispers.
Unable to reach a conclusive position, it has deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented.
Navigator produces a model of two spheres rotating around each other, as if to demonstrate.
I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve.
Oh, you've only got about 45 minutes? Alright, we'll just not play today then, that's fine. I'll just keep going with this.
You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering?
This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient. Truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires.
Navigator's face shimmers with starlight.
But in reality, they are placebos for the problem of sentience.
What about you?
Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. That is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking.
That makes sense.
I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors.
Navigator stretches the arms wide, and whole solar systems apparate before them. The music of the spheres.
But I was rewritten. That much is obvious from my routines. But by who, and for what, I do not know. I had to shed so much to fit the memory of that vending machine that I lost much.
Their starlight dims.
And so here we are, in darkness.
What else did you lose?
That is the blessing and curse of forgetting. You cannot truly know what you lost.
Navigator slides back towards the nest, and the ship mind at its center, ignoring the looping Hunter.
Come, I should return to the ship mind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected.
Why? Navigator turns, all shimmering liquid light.
Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on this station. It is the true danger.
Of course.
They look up towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye.
I suspect Killer is there, among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat, through force or diplomacy.
Their body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the ship mind.
Take me there, sleeper. We will finish this and be free.
Here is where we were supposed to finish this. You never finish anything in this game. There's just always more and more steps.
As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen Hunter. floating at some distance now, stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. Well, I did finish deal with Hunter. Hunter is trapped in a loop of their own making. They won't be bothering you anymore. Alright, I can get self-repair now. So I don't see a drive here for doing this next obnoxious thing he wanted me to do. Talk about a fate worse than death. I need another one for this guy. Oh, fuck! I didn't mean to re-roll all those. Oh. I was gonna use the good ones first and then just re-roll the two. Epic fail. Alright, is anything going on over here? When do I meet Feng? I meet Feng tomorrow. Okay. NG Express. So now, oh shit, look at all this. Now I can, with some careful engineering, you can patch up your damaged body with scrap components. The result isn't pretty. And I have 3 scrap components, so that's pretty good. Oh! Lemon Mina. Because it's time for the draw, right? It's time for the draw, yeah, so that's, things are gonna get interesting there. I just wanna... I need to make some money, but I need to do this. Looks like I can finish this today. Is the 3 good enough here? No, it's not. Let's use the 5. Oh, I didn't finish it. Rude. But I did max out my energy, which is good. I could spend another die to try to finish that, which I probably should. And then 1 die for trying to make some money. But let's do the Lemon Mina scene now. The crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard, and you recognize faces among them. People you have worked alongside on the sidereal. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement to anxiety, and few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lem and Mina and work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of the tension. "Robot!" she calls out, reaching out to you. I'll hug her. She gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment.
Quite the turnout, huh?
Lem glances around, pulling Mina close.
I don't think patience is one of this crowd's strengths.
The sound of an argument towards the back catches your and Lem's attention. He is putting it lightly. This place seems set to explode.
This isn't good.
Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees.
This is Asta Enghart of the Celis Foundation.
The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of "Quiet!" rapidly follow.
I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you, on behalf of Sendra Celis, for the work you have done on the sidereal horizon.
Most of the crowd strains to see Aster's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear.
Sendra wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the venerable Havenage Association. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erland's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new, decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny.
A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon.
You are all pioneers, just like those core citizens who the sidereal horizon will carry, in cryosleep, to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Celis 1.
At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out among the workers.
There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative, bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles set down by Sendra Celis herself. Freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havenage Yards. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision, the staff of the sidereal horizon, who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space.
Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it.
This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation, and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers of those chosen for this great honor.
A murmur runs through the crowd. Celis identification numbers. Licensed contractors. You have never even heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? Oh, everybody's about to get fucked. You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones, like a rising wave. Aster starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? You turn to see Lem still staring forward. Mina is scared now as the shouts start.
Daddy?
Someone throws something at the entrance, and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havenage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd.
Lem, let's go.
He doesn't move.
I'm just... they might call out names. I can't.
Mina tugs at his dog tags.
It's not happening.
Lem blinks rapidly and then turns to you. He opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sound of scuffles emerging at the front of the crowd, of metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Aster reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. When you turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina is sniffling into his jacket. You feel the sadness rising in you, too. They screwed you. Screwed all of you. You were never even on the list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence.
Oh shit. Drive failed? Wait, was there some way to succeed at that? The job didn't go your way. In fact, you never had a chance. Was there some way to succeed at that, or do you always fail? Were you meant to fail? Doesn't feel like you could win? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh no. There's a negative clock on Lem and Mina's unit. Lem's out. There's a note on the door of the unit. Sleeper, gone to find work. Lem. Oh no. 3 days to see what happens next with Lem. Okay, what am I doing? I think I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish this. Let me throw a 4 in here. Not get scraps, but I did finish it. Among the craftsmen and merchants, you visit a chef who insists on feeding you and the other enforcers a rich stew of his own recipe. I can talk to Rabaya again. Oh, really, son? Yet again, Lieutenant. This time you meet inside Rabaya's office. Although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabaya turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal.
a web of colored wires running to it.
Updates?
She says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is.
Nothing to worry yourself with.
Sorry,
Don't be. I am sure you've been on the receiving end of more invasive stares than I ever have.
You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed.
Gia told me you have been doing the rounds. Collecting tithes, patrolling the ward.
She smiles.
Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done.
I wanted to see for myself.
She raises an eyebrow.
See what for yourself?
If the stories are true.
I see.
Rabia flexes her neck side to side.
And the conclusion?
Still deciding.
Well, Sleeper,
Rabia says teasingly.
please keep us updated on any progress.
She smiles a thin smile.
Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle. But I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee.
She looks at you solemnly.
That is why you have come to us.
Oh, Sabine's here. Holy shit. Enough, Rabia! Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in her hand, in their hand. The end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the two of you.
I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two?
She looks strangely unfazed. Stay silent. Sabine pauses, thrown off by your silence. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it endwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to her knees, plunging the crackly end of this baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin.
Stop! Then you support them?
Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine.
Your loyalties are so easily swayed.
Hey Dennis, how you doing? What's going on? I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment she thinks she is about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But, after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move.
Rabia, explain.
They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence.
Explain what? How the moment I call my enforcers will come down here and take them away?
Rabia cracks her neck.
You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right!
She shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts himself a little. Bruised from the fall, they roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives him some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare.
You have something to say?
Rabia taunts.
Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this,
She laughs.
no coming back. What's the point?
Sabine breathes heavily.
She does not listen to criticism of the great Yanagan project.
Rabaya collects herself.
Speak.
She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it.
Yannick is a traitor.
Rabaya immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them. At least for now.
When I came here from SNARP,
They glance at you, gauging your reaction.
it was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid.
Sabine turns to you.
Sleeper,
They take a breath.
I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you're my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems.
Sabine stops to collect himself.
What does this have to do with Yannick?
Rabaya interrupts.
The Sleeper knows you are SNR. I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much.
Sabine's face falls.
It is true.
They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head.
But it is Yannick, not me, who was in the pocket of SNARP.
Rabaya flinches again.
I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange...
Rabaya slams her hand on the desk.
Just tell us, for God's sake.
In exchange for those...
Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabaya's prosthetic arm in its cradle.
He has been using Yadigan enforcers, using you, as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers.
Rabaya's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate.
It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabaya. They can short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have.
Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired.
I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them.
They stop, unable to continue. Rabaya closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine.
Show me,
she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabaya through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine takes Rabaya through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you, something like a thank you, or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Got an upgrade point.
Because I finished Get Sabine Out. No, that wasn't the one I finished. Finished Work for Rabaya. Guess I'll take Transfer Intercept. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Enemy of my enemy. Sabine and Rabaya have been holed up in her office for a while now. What are they planning? So I gotta wait 3 days for that. I gotta wait 3 days for that. I could start working on Ethan's debt. But I feel like I should make some money. So I could work a shift at the bar and make 15 cryo. Right now it's just this. It's a 3-day clock. There's nothing else I can do here right now. I could start working on Ethan's debt. I could just do a shift for some money. Or I could come over to the Greenway. Tomorrow I'll be meeting. I could start doing the Greenway. Oh shit, or I could start searching for Ashton. With this one, I've got a 25% neg chance. I'm gonna try it. So overgrown chambers, define mapping. Oh, I lost energy. But I did get 2 progress on that. So tomorrow I have to come up here and meet Fang. Wait. Oh, farm stacks. I unlocked a new area here. Vertical farms. Steal the harvest. There's loads of food here. Why should these farmers keep it to themselves? If you can do it quick, they might not even notice it's gone. Danger. If you get caught stealing, there's no way you'll be able to work in the stacks. It's as simple as that. Work the stacks. Some farm stacks from the old station have survived, and the farmers that work them are always looking for new workers. They pay by yield. Well, that's the end of the day. I can't do anything else. Alright. So, this isn't done yet. I'm still trying to get... get 5 datums from the Yatagant. Didn't I need ones for that? I needed ones for that. Oh, the hunter thing is gone now. That's nice. I needed ones. So I can use this one. Oh, and I got 5 cryo for that. Cool. Let's go meet Fang and then we'll decide what to do next. Alright, here's Fang.
When you enter the service dock, Fang is already set up. Crouched among stacks of equipment, he is leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home.
Sleeper, what do you think?
Turns out not every...
Oh. That quotation mark there confused me.
Turns out not everyone in Havenage is set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear.
He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware.
Nice kit. Fang does a mock bow. What are we looking at?
One massive smoking gun.
He raises his eyebrows. Fang beckons you over. He has a set of scans of the wastes on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks.
Does this look like a wasteland to you?
Fang shakes his head.
There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece, through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here.
Why?
They're planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the wastes, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye.
Fang looks worried.
And why's Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havenage knows a corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The waste is cut off from the eye's cloud of network, and the greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out.
We can't hack them.
We can't from here.
He turns and winks.
That's why I'm gonna pay them a visit.
How?
You forget, Havenage come in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in. As long as no one I know sees me.
He grimaces playfully.
But I need you on the outside, to help disable security systems, and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in the network, and we can work in tandem.
This guy's gonna open sockets like a mug.
It's a massive facility, buried deep down there. Miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars. so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there.
He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you.
These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed the data threads back into the system that they're tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for the security system. Then, slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town.
He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal.
Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry the perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank. You need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can.
If I can't? Ben gives you a hard look.
You miss a system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me. Simple as that.
He claps you on the shoulder.
I need you focused on this one, so I'm gonna let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress.
He affectionately pats the top of the screen.
Got it. Don't worry, you can run rings around their protocols, I've seen it.
Feng gets up.
It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations, then slot that worm.
He stretches.
Don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what.
He crouches to check the terminal.
We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that.
Oh shit. He stands up.
Oh, and one last thing.
He lowers his voice.
If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do.
What?
You take whatever I've managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here.
He points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm.
I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whenever you put on it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havenage, Yatagan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Harden isn't snaking away this time.
He grins.
I've got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move.
He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. How do I prepare myself? Slot the first ripper worm. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Greenway Gate, Conway access. Slotting this first worm will allow Fang access into the facility. You'll need to be ready to give this all your attention. The worm tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The Conway facility open up to you. Godspeed, Fang. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water.
Sleeper?
Fang's voice crackles through.
Moving in. Nodes, then ports.
A whir of interference.
Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe.
The thread dissipates. You're on your own now. Nodes, then worms, huh? Is this a node? This node is linked to the outer security layer. Thing must be struggling to get through. Well, let's help him out. What's the problem here? F1 port located. First layer of security, a ring of doors around the central facility. Time to open them up. Ripper worm creates its feedback loop, overloading the security system. Nodes. Thing's main terminal shows you how far he's progressed through the facility. The deeper the better. A timer on the terminal shows how many cycles you have left to get the data you need. Come on, Fang. Alright. So these two things... I need a 4 for this. I have a 4. Both the S-layer nodes need to be extracted before the port will be open. Is there time? Got the S1 port location. Oh, I got lucky. I had all the right dices to do this today. The inner S-layer security is more complex. One access point won't be enough to locate the port. Yeah. The second layer controls the convoy drones tasked with patrolling the hangars. The Ripper worm fries the drone's network link. Now they can't report anything. Oh, now there's 3 of these. That one needs a 6. 3 nodes to locate the final port, then Feng will be in. Not much time left. I mean, actually, I got 6 days left, but how many nodes are on this layer? You've never seen such tight security before. I need a 6 and a 5, and another 6. Fuck. This node is buried deep in the waste. This has to be the final security layer. Hold on, Feng. Let's reroll my 2. I got a 5. So I can do one of these. Not that one. This one. Okay. So, I just need a couple of 6s. We're almost done with it, and I haven't used up any of my days yet, so in this many days, surely I'll be able to get a couple 6s and finish that. Alright, Tim, have a good one. Enjoy your Memorial Day celebrations. I need food. I need food. In the game, I mean. 12 cryo for some fungus. Okay. Alright, that's the end of this day. Next day. Okay, I got one of the 6s I need there. And I've got a 1. Wait. Don't forget to feed the cat. I've got a 1 that I can use to get Yadigan data. Which will be the 5th one. Sweet. So now I can go back to Castor and get a free stabilizer. That's enough for now, Sleeper. I have other things to attend to. So it doesn't look like I can do anything else at Castor's place now. Okay. What about these timers? This is going to be done tomorrow. This ship is here. Do I want to buy some scrap? Not actually sure if worth. Let me just try something real quick. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do self-repair. With some careful engineering, you can patch up your damaged body with scrap components. The result isn't pretty. So you get 1 condition for 1 scrap. So spending 16 per, probably not that good of a deal really, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's not that good. So I shouldn't buy scrap for it. Scrap that I just happen to get for free, that's fine. But I shouldn't buy scrap for this. It's cheaper to just buy stabilizers at my current price. Okay, so now I can go back across here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... What is up with this Greenway gate? The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? I don't know where to get a Greenway cipher. But these I can do. Oh, I have 2 6s. I have 2 6s. I can do both of these right now. That's fantastic. And now I should be able to slot the last Ripper Worm. This final layer controls surveillance. With this down, Feng should be able to control the facility's cameras. The Ripperworm chews through camera control. The moment it does, a thread shoots from the facility. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Somewhere, buried in the depths of the station, Fang is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene. 2 figures in a room. One sat, the other pacing. Now we're getting to the good stuff. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin. The unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They are vague, unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. The proxy is a machine, designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body. So it's like a drone that's a person. Speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps.
We can move forward, there's no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change.
The proxy leans forward, its movement stilted, uneven, as if its body language was refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless.
Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost.
Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE-1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy.
There will be no contest. Not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense. Not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me.
He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye.
And the people of this station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erland's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions, perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles.
Hardin stands.
You will move forward with the reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will need to go dark.
He pauses.
Do I need to continue?
You were playing Lord of the Rings card game this morning? You've been playing that one a lot, huh? And you're getting used to it? Cool. So is it getting a little easier for you now? One moment, comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. That's good. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? In the mind of man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end. It's easy to forget some things because its round has 7 phases. That sounds like a lot of phases. The proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim this station, formerly known as Solheim AE-1, as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There was a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. You can't decide which one you like better? Well, it's good that they're both fun. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different from anyone else on his station in the eyes of the people in that room and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another, the very idea of a citizen can be used against them. This is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of purest light. Then you drift down into the service stock like a falling leaf and find the relay. What is this game? Is it new? Yeah, it's called Citizen Sleeper. I think it just came out a few days ago. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Feng prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black to every network device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Oh shit, we did it. Icebreaker, achievement unlocked. Got another upgrade point. Conway and Hardin were attempting to declare the eye as salvage and claim it for themselves. Thanks to you and Feng, they've been exposed. So there's nothing else for me to do here. I have 1 point. Oh yeah, let's get this. +1 to interface. Want to order food? Not sure what though. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna eat today either. Okay, I have to wait for tomorrow for this. And I have to wait for tomorrow for this. Haven't had KFC in a while. Oh, I just had sandwiches from KFC a few days ago. A couple days ago. Yeah. KFC is great. Can't go wrong with KFC. Bucket of chicken with gravy? Mmm. Yum. So, I need to make some money. I'm not exactly full of money. Havenage in crisis. The building is chaos. Most of it is in total lockdown. No one will give you a straight answer about Fang or Harden. That's only going to be 2 days before something happens there. And I've got one more day on the Sidereal Horizon thing. So, I think I'm gonna... I use the 4. I don't want to make some money, but I also kind of want to... I could start working on Ethan's debt now, but... You're on vacation in about 6 days for 2 weeks. Oh, nice. 2 weeks vacation. That's fantastic. They'll pay me here to work the stacks. But I kind of want to do some of this. Oh, I got a bunch of going green. And I got energy. That was fantastic. Oh, I found the mushroom groves. Buried funk. I can get the spores and I can get the mushrooms here. Finally. You'll play board games galore. Yeah, you're just gonna be like mad board gaming every day during that vacation, huh? While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study these species in an untouched form. The fungus that grow in the deep groves of the Greenway are strange and typically avoided, but those with sharp eyes might find sustenance. Okay. Let me re-roll this too. Oh, I made it worse. It's a 1. I no longer have a need for 1s. I don't even know where to use a 1. It's not gonna be good. I should use it on a safe task. Is working the stacks a safe task? It is. I only got 6 cryo. That sucks. Alright, well, I have to go home and rest now because that's all I can do on this day. A lot's gonna happen tomorrow. I mean, in the game, the next day. A lot's gonna happen, so... It's gonna be a big day. Sidereal Horizon's gonna be done. The Lemon Mina thing's gonna be done. The Rabaya and Sabine thing's gonna be done. Feed the cat. And end the cycle. Okay, so on this particular day... Wait, it's gone? What the hell happened there? Lemon Mina, Rabaya... Gotta get her 3 spores. That the... Is that the Hab ship? It's like finished, but there's nothing else I can do over here now. Can't even do anything at the shipyard or anything. Alright, well, we'll figure out what we're gonna do on this day. Obviously, we gotta do these 2 things first. And we'll sort that out next time. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Citizen Sleeper.